And being close to my father, doing this work, I began to get a bit of his teaching, understanding a bit of what he was trying to raise me up in, the values, the virtues of being a Catholic. I didn't get it at first, and it took me many years to recognize what he was doing. At some level, this is what Jesus does with us. So often, as followers of Jesus, we look at what he can do for us, but rather, the scripture is pretty clear, it's come and see what we can do together. He invites us to work with him, and in the working process, the cooperative effort, we come to get his teaching, not just here, but in the heart. Example, today's gospel. Notice, so often we can just focus on the first part. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. It's a pure gift. We didn't earn it. He says, this is the gift I give you. But then right underneath it is, do not let your hearts be troubled. He doesn't say, oh, by the way, I'm not going to allow your hearts to be troubled. He says, no, that's your work. I'm going to give you the peace. But it's your job, it's your responsibility to protect your heart. So here's an image that works for me. Remember that powerful image when God sent Adam and Eve out of the garden and says, now you must learn through hard work what it means to be authentically human and to find your liberation in that work. Then he places an angel with a flaming sword right at the gates. At some level, I like that image because that's what I put as a sword in front of my heart to protect me against that troubling thoughts and feelings. But here's the challenge. The real challenge is our brains, created by God, are like little children or monkeys, constantly active, 24 hours a day. Even when we're asleep, dreaming. So how in the world are we supposed to do this? Because thoughts come and go. Yeah. Well, let's turn to John Cassian, a very famous part of our tradition, a monastic saint who wrote a book called The Conferences, which is a summary of many conferences that he gave his monastic community. And he said the greatest enemy to spiritual life are our thoughts. Unless we learn how to discipline them, we will have to struggle with living with a troubled heart all our life, and we'll lose our peace. So obviously he takes to heart the scripture. Here are the 3 steps that he gives. First is, notice your thoughts. Recognize what they're doing to you. So, whoop, look at that. There I go again. Even now, I bet you're sitting there thinking, now when's Father Jim going to be quiet so we can move on? That's the way our mind works. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the way it works. But he says, notice it. Notice when you have a tendency to just let your mind go here or there. Notice the patterns. First step. Second step is choose to stop it. Wow. I thought I was a victim of my thoughts. Not at all. He says, rather, you have a choice to make. You can let your thoughts and feelings take you wherever you want to go. Or you can say, wait a second. I know when I go in that angle, I start thinking that's where I'm going to end up, so I'm stopping it right now. So the second is to choose to stop it. And the third is to replace it. To replace it with, according to him, according to the example of Christ, with a scripture. Just a phrase. For example, let's suppose you're concerned about the future. Have no anxiety. Place all of your intentions before me. In Paul's letter to the Philippians. Or you're struggling with guilty feelings. There is now no condemnation in Christ. Paul's letter to Romans. Or fear. Do not be afraid. Fear is useless. Gospel of Matthew. And so on and so forth. This is why to memorize scripture can be helpful. Or he says you can also replace it with something beautiful. Something that has enough power to draw you away from these negative thoughts and feelings. So once again, take note, choose, change the thoughts. 3 is replace it. He says this is a regular, lifelong discipline. The second way we can truly help to create a heart that's free from being troubled comes to us through the Talmud. Wonderful story about King Solomon. King Solomon was quite worried and vexed about his life as a king with all the responsibilities. He knew he had everything. He had more wives and concubines than he could even count, more wealth than he could count, people at his beck and call, but he was really worried. What if it were taken away? What then? He was anxious about the future. His father had created peace along the borders, but what if that were to disappear? So he turned to his advisor and he says, listen, you've got 6 months to find a special ring. He said, last night I had a dream, and there's a ring out there somewhere with the gift of being able to help me to alleviate this trouble in my heart. Well, his advisors traveled all over the Middle East, Egypt, Jerusalem, Assyria, all the known world. They couldn't find it. And so only a few days left, they were getting rather worried because their king had really threatened them. But the youngest advisor stayed up all night, last night, wandering through the back alleys of Jerusalem. And then as the sun began to rise, he found this place he hadn't been before. And there's a little old man who's wheeling out his cart into the alley. And he went up to him and he said, sir, he said, I know this may sound like a silly question, but do you have some sort of special ring that might offer our king some wisdom? He had this dream that suppose this ring would give him peace of mind and heart. The old man thought for a bit and he says, just a minute. He went back in and he brought out this rather tarnished looking ring. It was gold and there was a little jewel on it. But inside he began to engrave in Hebrew this wonderful little phrase. And he said, here, I think this is what the king was looking for. And the young man looked at it, and he smiled, and he said, it is indeed. He pulled out all the money he had and gave it to the jeweler, and he went running back to the palace. And so the king called for an audience of all his advisors. He says, well, have you found the ring for me? And the young advisor raised his hand and said, yes, we have. With that, he stepped forward, and he gave the ring to King Solomon. The king looked at it, he read the inside, and he smiled, and he said, that's it. That's it. You want to know what it said? And this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. And he lived his life that way, recognizing that sorrows come and then they go. Joys come and then they go. Nothing comes to stay. And so to live with a heart that's not in trouble means that we have to live a disciplined life, guarding our heart against thoughts and feelings that move us away from that sense of being at peace. And secondly, to recognize that whatever is troubling you, this too shall pass. And the sooner you recognize that and live from that, you will know peace that passes all understanding.